I'm sitting here in St. John's Sanctuary on Sunday morning. It's the fourth Sunday in Lent, sort of mid-Lent. I could be sitting at Farnham, the way the light is, just in a wooden pew with a window behind me. The light is so beautiful in here. The light's so beautiful in these sanctuaries that we know so well. I came this morning because I missed being in church with you, all of you out there. There's hardly ever a Sunday that I'm not in church. There's just something about it being a home place for us, isn't it? And I bet you kind of miss it too. I came a little early and I rang the bell like Brother Mark would do, or here at St. John's, or maybe Ed Elliott or Ed Marks might do it, or Stan at Farnham. I rang the bell 12 times. And it resonated in the air, traveled in the air, this beautiful sunshiny morning. And I rang it 12 times because there were 12 disciples, and sort of a number that reminds me of all of us trying to be disciples for this Lord that we serve. One of my favorite books is a book by a guy named John O'Donohue, and it's titled To Bless the Space Between Us. And I've been thinking about that a lot these couple of days, these last few days really, because space seems to be what we've got a lot of right now. More space between us than we want. I'm sitting here in an empty church here at St. John's, and of course it's empty at Farnham. But I wonder if it really is empty space, because I think back on these two historic churches and how over time these are the places where people have come when they're distressed, or when they're hopeful, or when they're happy or joyous. These are spaces where people come with all the major passages they're experiencing in life, or experiencing with loved ones or friends, births and baptisms, weddings, funerals. But I think back on times that probably were very crisis times in their lives, in the lives of the country even, times of war, times when there have been major health threats like we're experiencing today. Some people have equated this C virus with almost like wartime, but this one is different because the enemy is invisible. And as a result of this time, we're having to make more space between each other. And I know that can create loneliness. It can create a little fear and anxiety. They say that introverts love it, but then extroverts, maybe like I am, we want to go seek out people. But there's something about space, and it is not empty, and things move in that space between us that link us together, like vision, like sight, like light, like sound. It moves through space, light and sound. And so this is a time for us to reach out to each other with our voices. So, one thing I wanted to do this morning was really kind of commission every one of you all to be pastoral caregivers to each other. How wonderful it is that we have these cell phones we can walk around with. How wonderful it is that we can just call up somebody. I want you to do that. I want you to call each other. Maybe pick a prayer partner. Pick somebody. Or somebody today and somebody tomorrow, and just say, I'm just thinking about you. I have you on my heart. And what's going on with you? How's your family? How are your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews? What are you doing that's giving you joy even when you're alone? So your voice, the sound of your voice is so special and can can just bridge so many spaces. And when you see the light, light travels through space too. And I sit here and I watch the light, and I remember all the sounds that have been in here and in Farnham, particularly in these old churches. Your prayers over the last years, your singing, even the words of your heart that are silent, I just feel that they're embedded in these walls, that those sounds are carried in just the air around here. And the light, of course, is in here. Even at night, if I light one of those candles, sometimes we've done that in evening services, the light shines in the darkness. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can't overcome it. That's that Christ light. That's the light in our hearts. So you all, when you're going through a dark time, if you feel like it's dark, if you feel like it's anxiety and worry are pressing on you about your family and your friends, just go into your heart place where there is light. Let it shine. Let it shine. And it will somehow help melt some of that fear. This is a time of fear, and a time when we sense darkness, and yet sometimes in the darkness we see the light for what it really is, and we feel the light. We see the light in the darkness, and we see it so brightly and so beautifully. And I want to share with you, as I wind down this little message, which I hope is the first of several that we will be able to record and pass forward to you. I've always loved Psalm 139, and actually during the rest of this Lenten time and during Holy Week, I want to do something on the Psalms and send it out to you each day of Holy Week, maybe a psalm that you reflect on. But Psalm 139, that I think talks about spaces. Lord, you've searched me out and known me. You know my sitting down and my rising up. You discern my thoughts from afar. You trace my journeys and my resting places, and are acquainted with all my ways. Indeed, there's not a word, not a sound on my lips, or sound in my heart, but you, O Lord, know it all together. You do press upon me behind and before, lay your hand upon me. I feel it, Lord. Don't you all feel it? That hand on you sometimes reaching across space where you're maybe frightened or fearful. Just a touch of Christ's hand. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is so high that I cannot attain it. Where can I go then from your spirit? Is there any place I can flee from your presence? If I climb to heaven, you are there. If I make the grave my bed, if I get depressed, if I get sad, if I get down, you are there also in that darkness. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there your hand will lead me. Don't we feel that at times when we feel so far away? This hand, there's something reaching out, saying, just here I am for you. So Lord, even there your hand will lead me, and your right hand hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness will cover me and the light around me turn to night, darkness is not dark to you, Lord. The night is as bright as the day, because you are the light. You are the light that shines through any of our darkness. Darkness and light are the same to you, Lord, because you are the light. You shine through it. So you all, I sit here in an empty church, but I feel you all. I feel your presence. I feel your love and care, and I want you to feel the love that's shining out of my heart. And just feel this home place, this sanctuary that you come to on Sundays and that you come to celebrate life and to pray and ask for help. But that sanctuary is in your heart too. So go to your inner space. That's your home place now.